Previously on Funny Science Fiction.
I want to know how she finds the jet because my car is visible and I still have trouble finding it in parking lots.
I take a picture of it with my iPhone.
Hi, this is Joshua Schubart from The Tick, and welcome to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
The podcast where our jokes make Marvin the paranoid android seem giddy and upbeat. Our guest today might be best known for his work on the Amazon Prime show, The Tick. Now, if you haven't seen The Tick, although I don't want you to stop watching us, go watch The Tick and then come back.
Go watch it.
But today we're going to play questions and answers with Joshua Schubart, who plays Frank, a member of Ramsay IV's henchmen in the Pyramid Gang.
Oh boy.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here. This seems like so much fun.
Yeah, we're excited to have you and share some laughs with you and a little bit of our silliness. So
we like fooling people into thinking that we're fun.
Yeah, it's one of our better qualities.
You have a great background, so I don't know how you can't be fun. It's all swirly and nice, so it's good.
It goes with the cat ears so very well.
Perfect.
There you go.
Are those also headphones too?
They are. They are my headphones.
I've seen those before. They're so cool.
They are fantastic. And it was so funny. The first interview I did with these, and then Tim's like, "Wait, you have headphones on?" I'm like, "Yes." He's, "Wait, your hair is big enough you can hide headphones in it?" My hair is big enough I can hide all sorts of secrets in it.
You could hide you could hide like a whole hamburger in there, and no one
would. I could. I've had Cheetos in there before, but
she has enough hair. Trust me, it could happen.
Yeah.
We do. Where Kathleen just in the middle of something just pulls a full hamburger out from under.
Here, honey, eat this.
Watch Monday night. It might happen.
All right. So on The Tick, when we're first introduced to you in The Tick, I at least where I noticed you anyway. Let's put it that way. Where I would remember first being introduced to you on The Tick, you run up to Ramses IV and you're out of breath, and you're hunched over like a true henchman trying to catch his breath, and he starts to gently caress your back. And so, chum, I need to know: is Michael Cerveris, who plays Ramses, any good at back rubs, or was he just mailing it in and making it look pretty for the camera?
No, he's great at it, actually. He was very nice. He was very kind and very, very gentle. And then when he had to hit me in the back, it wasn't hard at all, but it made a nice noise. But yeah. And that was when I came onto the show. That was my first scene in the show. So you did not miss me before. Yeah.
All right, good. Because I actually went back into a couple different episodes. And I was like, okay. And then I went to IMDb and I double checked. No, that was the first episode that he was in. Yeah. And then I went to that episode and I was like, did I miss it? All right, I think that's the first spot. And then it just started making me laughing because I was just sitting here watching Cerveris rub your back, just like, it's okay, pal. We're all right.
It's a serious skill to be able to hit somebody and not have it hurt, but have it make a good sound.
Yeah, it's a really good nap. That's the industry term for it, nap.
Ooh. Yeah. You got to get the cupping just right to get the sound. But...
yeah, but it's right into your back.
There you go.
I love that there's skills behind how to hit people.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, he comes from a long history of doing tons and tons of plays and lots of Broadway. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what we've learned too, is like how to hit people in the face without actually hitting people in the face and making it make a noise, so that people are like, oh my God, but you don't actually hurt anybody most times.
Nick, next company dinner, we're going to try that with you.
Sounds good. Good way to stage a mugging, but then have someone watch and then just ask for their wallet nicely and see if they give it to you.
Yeah, I've actually only once seen a stage hit go wrong, and then later found out that it was because the actors found out that the one guy was trying to get the other guy's girlfriend. Yeah, and it was it was supposed to be a fake punch, and he instead broke his nose.
Yeah, that'll happen from time to time, and not because people are mad. I've lost count of the amount of times that I've been stabbed. So,
oh no.
Yeah, just because it just happens when you're doing.
You mean in New York?
Well, not on the streets, no, but like,
That's not something everybody can say. I've lost track of the number of times I've been stabbed.
Yeah, that's not a phrase I use.
what was
When you
really
go to prison,
funny,
Kathleen, you'll hear it more often.
Right?
what was
Sure,
really
I will
funny
do
is
something.
that there was this crazy scene in season 1 where all of us were shooting machine guns in this open field, and I wasn't holding it properly, so the spent casings kept hitting Michael in the head over and over and over again. So I hit him in the head like 20 times with these things, and they called cut, and like he was like, Josh, man, can you just like angle it right? They're really hot and they hurt. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, and he's bald in the show too, so I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's not like it's hitting hair.
No,
So-
it's just hitting the skin, just burning that skin.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is the way to make friends with your coworkers.
Burn their skin.
Oh goodness. So looking at your website, it mentions that you hope to work with Marvel.
I want
And
to.
with the Fox Disney merger, there are a lot more characters available in the MCU now. So is there a dream role for you in the MCU?
Yeah, I want to be in the Fantastic Four. I would like to play Ben.
Ooh.
Ben
Oh,
Grimm
you'd be
is
awesome at
the
that.
thing.
You'd be really good.
I would love to play that role, and I think I like being a large man who also is very in touch with like hard to process complicated feelings. Like I would love to get into that character. I spent a long time like trying to like I thought I was a monster for a long time, and then coming out of that, like I would love to just dive into that guy's world.
Yeah.
And he's also so cool, and you get to be made of rocks. It's like
Right? That would be an awesome role.
Would it be crazy for us to ask you to give us a good clobbering time right now?
Sure. I mean, mine is like it's clobbering time. Like, you know,
Okay,
like,
okay.
not like it's clobbering time. You know, like that's kind of
Not so intense.
too much. You know, but you know, like for me, it's kind of like a, you know, it's like you're just you know that you're gonna like
Keep
You know
clobbering.
what you're about to do. Yeah.
Yeah. it's clobbering time.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Well, we will root for you to
Oh,
get that
thank
role.
you.
Yeah.
I say we make that a hashtag on Twitter and go nuts with it.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Please do it.
Do
Joshua
it.
Schubert, it's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
We
do
will
it.
get
Oh my
Disney's
God,
attention
please.
somehow.
Done deal. As soon as we're done with this interview, bud, I'm going to tag you on Twitter, and we're going to make that hashtag
Yes.
Joshua Schubert. It's clobbering time, because
Oh.
I think you'd nail it.
I think I would too. Thank you. Please do it. Even if it does not happen, it would be amazing anyway.
Any casting directors listening in, Joshua is very ready for this role.
I'm very ready to be in the MCU. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm so excited about the multiverse.
I mean-
like,
What the heck? We'll tag Kevin Feige too. Let's do it.
Do it. Get him. Dear Kevin,
Dearest Kevin Feige,
Joshua Schubart is totally ready to be in the Fantastic Four.
my good friend Joshua Schubart is totally rad and would nail this part.
the tiny podcast of weirdos from Michigan said so. So it's true.
That's right. No, that'd be cool. All right, yeah, let's do that.
So you have also been credited on writing some episodes of your show, The After.
After, yeah.
So my question is, what did you prefer, writing or acting, and what did you enjoy about the writing?
So I loved writing, and I always have, but it was never my focus because I was always trying to just do acting. And that in itself is like its own giant hurdle. But I loved writing After because I got to write a role for me that I don't know if I would have gotten otherwise. And I was also able to create roles for all of my friends that weren't playing roles that they were supposed to be playing. And it turned into this like beautiful, wonderful thing. You know, like I made After for a bunch of reasons, but it was like large dudes in media and in the entertainment are largely laughing stocks, or they're really bad, or they're gonna punch you in the face. we're not allowed to be complete humans. I mean, the closest that I got was playing Frank and the Tick, especially in season 2. They expanded him into a wonderful place, but I wanted to. The only people that I saw really were like Chris Farley and Shaq Black, and they're incredible, and they helped like break the mold for what it means to be large. But it's not just, we're not oafs. We're allowed to be in love and cry and laugh and have kids and get married and do more than we're portrayed as being. And that's what I wanted to do with After. So, I mean, that was a long answer, but that's why it was so particularly special. And that's what I've applied to all of my other things that I now write to, is like, what do we need to be seeing? What is not being put in a positive light and hasn't been for a very long time? Let's make it positive now.
Yeah.
So 2 things about your answer. Number 1, we love long answers. Long answers are the best. And number 2, as a large fellow himself, I feel represented. So thank you, sir.
As a fan of large fellows.
We're cool.
As someone who sires from large fellows.
I mean, I grew up around bigger dudes. My dad was 6'3", my brothers are 6'2" and 6'4". My husband's 6 foot. It's like big guys need love too.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Viking representation.
And also, big guys they have so much love to give too.
And they're so much cuddlier.
Yeah,
that needs to be a t-shirt,
and
by the way.
What's up?
It needs to be a t-shirt.
It does need to be a t-shirt. Big guys have big love to give too.
If only we knew a t-shirt guy.
Hold up, making notes. All right, well, excellent. So actually, next question is a perfect lead into my next question for you. So now I've looked at some of your acting roles, and we talked about this a little bit on Focused on Forward as well, that you've been a very busy actor over the years. You've had serious roles like your current show, After. You've also had some not so serious, even superhero related roles like Frank in The Tick. Now, for some of the actors that I've talked to in the past, whether it's voice actors, whether it's physical actors, they have certain preparation styles that they use for one style of acting versus another style of acting. Do you have a process that you use across the board, whether it's comedy, drama, action, whatever, or do you change up based on what you're doing?
It depends on what type of comedy it is, right? So if it's supposed to be just completely natural, like it's just part of life and what is happening is why it's funny, then you don't do anything extra. You just live in the moment, and that's why it's funny, because of how you're that's how that's how it's happening. And what but if it's like a farce, or if it's like a specific type of comedy where there's a specific way that you have to do everything, then yeah, there's a lot more prep work that goes into that. Like if you're doing Pinter, or you're doing Moliere, or you're and you have a very specific rhythm that you have to hit, then sure, there's a lot more preparation that you have to do. But otherwise, comedy is just the person that is in the comedy is in a drama, and that's what makes it funny. So if you try and be funny, you're not going to be funny. You just have to be honest, and that's what becomes funny. Yeah.
So deliver your line. Don't try and sell the line.
Yeah, just try to be as organic as possible. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I love it. So I watched one of your videos, the 5 things you wished you had learned before, or learned about the entertainment industry.
Oh, cool.
And you mentioned that before you got good at something, that you're going to be really bad at it.
Oh, yeah,
and
you're terrible.
You're also trained in the use of multiple bladed weapons, which goes along with you don't know how many times you've been stabbed, I'm sure. So those seem like potentially dangerous elements to combine, the being really bad at something and then having multiple bladed weapons. So without going into unnecessarily gory details are still okay, or causing undue embarrassment for anyone, how did the early stages of weapon training go for you?
They were fine. So in the beginning of that type of stuff, you actually don't use weapons. So it's all about where your hand placement is and where your arm is and what's happening with your body. So you don't do so it's like you're like playing the way that you used to when you're like, I'm Luke Skywalker. It was kind of like that. Then you upgrade to like, I'm gonna use a wooden dowel now, so that like if you mess it up, then it hurts, but you don't do anything. And then once you get that under control, then you move on to an actual blade. They're not sharpened, so that's good, but they're still very pointy in the tips. So that's kind of where you get stabbed. So my worst one probably was during a production of Midsummer Night's Dream that was altered to be in the winter time, and they added a whole crazy battle scene in the beginning between the Amazons and the Athenians to like for some reason, because people like to add to those shows. And adrenaline kind of took over my partner, and they took their giant broadsword and just stabbed me right in the sternum with it.
Oh.
And I had like a 2-inch hole.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was probably the worst one.
That's still pretty bad.
You have our attention at 2-inch hole. Wow.
Oh boy, Tim's getting all sorts of T-shirt ideas.
I mean, accidents happen. Like, it's just the way that you try as hard as you can to not punch people in the face or stab anybody, but it happens sometimes. But I will say that if you are looking to learn, you're not going to just be like, here's a sword, good luck.
That sounds like so much more fun now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so much more irresponsible.
We're always looking for suggestions about what type of recreation and other fun people can do to let their hair down, so to speak. How do you keep yourself recharged, your creative mind focused when you're not working? Also, could you recommend a good hot dog place?
All right. I don't know of any hot dog places. I don't eat them anymore. I used to eat them like crazy, but they make me fart a lot, so I don't eat hot dogs anymore.
Wow! More quotable moments.
Yeah. As for what I do to let my hair down, I play lots of video games. I love them. And I also play, I was playing 2 weekly D&D campaigns. I love playing D&D. I'm currently playing a monk and a artificer, and they're both fun.
So you also mentioned video games. What video game do you like to play?
Ooh, so it depends on how much time I have. Right now, I'm really into this game called KO City, which is like a dodgeball game on PS4. I played the Last of Us 2 pretty recently. It was incredible.
Okay.
The Final Fantasy 7 remake was incredible. I'm really into RPGs and like real time strategies. I can't play Civilization anymore because I lose my entire life. So I just like begin to play, and then I go into like a time warp, and I wake up 11 hours later, and I'm starving and I'm sweaty. I don't know what's going on, so I can't play those games anymore. But
that's why I stopped playing The Sims and Age of Empires.
Yeah,
same problem.
I am massively addicted to The Sims. Like, there's a new Sim expansion coming out next week, and I want it.
So is my wife. She loves The Sims.
Oh my gosh. And it's so funny. My husband's like, why are you playing more life? I'm like, because when I get mad at this toddler in my computer, I can stop.
So I don't play The Sims anymore because I played the first one, And I don't know if you know this about the first one, but it is the most brutal video game to ever be made.
Yes.
I made a nice family, and I had a wife, but I didn't like, but she didn't have good like using the kitchen skills. So she burned our house down and died. So my character got really depressed, right? Really, really depressed. And there's this thing called the sadness clown in the first version of The Sims that shows up when you are sad. I didn't know how to get rid of the sadness clown, so my character starved to death because he wouldn't eat or sleep. I found out later you have to just buy a mirror and then put it on the wall, and then they look at themselves and they get happy again. Guess who didn't do that? Guess who never played The Sims again?
Oh man.
I am so glad that they didn't bring the sadness clown back for the fourth version, because I hate clowns.
Literally, it would just follow you around, and whenever you tried to like go to the bathroom, eat food, or try to sleep, it would just be like, no, you can't do that. You gotta talk to me and the sadness clown. It was the worst.
Simulating depression realistically since 2001.
Nice. All right, so now we talked about, again, something that we talked about on Focused on Forward, which is one of our sister podcasts here on Funny Science Fiction. We talked about your early life growing up and the fact that you didn't always have it very easy.
Sure.
And we talked about how you got encouraged to reach out for the arts. Now, if you're interested in listening to that, you can always go to Focused on Forward, and you'll be able to find that podcast and that interview with Joshua Schubart, and we delve into that topic a lot more. But what would you say were your early influences for acting, and what's your drive for filmmaking now?
Well, so acting for me came from a lot of nerd stuff, a lot of nerd culture, and actually a lot of cartoons in the beginning. That was kind of my exposure to like what could it be, or what I would like. Like I loved watching the anything science fiction. I'm a huge Next Generation nerd. Like, do not at me. It is the best one.
Get them in the comments, guys.
Yeah, you can. You just rip me up, but I don't care because it's the best one. I love Deep Space Nine. That's fine. People are like, that's the best one. It's boring. Okay, they are the best one to follow. They are on a space platform. They're not doing anything, and it's all that guy. I forget his name. He's like females, and he drinks tea. What was his name? He was the Romulan guy. Never mind. And
you're asking the wrong guy for that one. I'll tell you that much.
But yeah, so anyway, so I mean, like, the influences on me came when I found acting really, and I got to really watch actors. Like, I love Patrick Stewart. I love Ian McKellen. I love Willem Dafoe. I love him as an actor. Like, one of the coolest quotes that he has is that sometimes acting is just putting in teeth. Like, just putting in a pair of really weird teeth. You know, like, you can do all this work and do everything, and then all of a sudden, like, one thing comes, like one article of clothing or a thing that they put on your face, and it informs your entire character. And I thought that was a really honest thing to say, and a really cool way in, because acting is this whole, yes, it's big and grand, and it's really very sparkly and very ethereal, and no one really knows how it works. But there are times where it's just like, I put on these shoes, and it all made sense. And I really like that. And he's also an incredible artist, and I think very underrated. Even though he works a lot, tons and tons and tons of movies, he's never really, like, you know, up until recently with like The Lighthouse, right? He like hasn't really gotten his accolades, and he should, because he's incredible.
Yeah. He definitely keeps those ships away from shore.
He does.
So, as we've already talked about, you recently became a father. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I do promise you will sleep again sometime.
We're working it out. We're working it out.
Give it 3 months.
It comes and goes. Like, my daughter's to the point where she consistently sleeps now, which is great. And it's been a pretty consistent 12-hour chunk at night for the last year, which is great. So you'll get to the point where you do sleep.
She's gagged, bound, and high on Benadryl, but she's sleeping.
Melatonin. She's too little for Benadryl. Come on. At least give me credit for being a decent parent. So,
okay, you're fine. You're a decent parent.
I mean, I'm trying my best with what I was given. How about that? And what I was given is a tiny version of myself.
And that's all that you can do.
Right? It's hard. I understand why my mom was so frustrated with me growing up now. I get it. But is there a particular series or franchise that you're most excited to introduce your little one to, and hoping that they take the same interest in instead of rolling their eyes and telling you that you're lame?
Yeah, I really want her to love The Lord of the Rings the way that I do. And I'm really excited that you can watch it from, I know it's not technically the right order. You have to watch the first 3 and then watch The Hobbit because it's a prequel and then blah, blah, blah. But it would be cool to watch it from the beginning to end, and hopefully she thinks it's great. Because I love Lord of the Rings. And if there's an animated series, because I'm just going to answer that, even though you didn't ask, I would love to watch all of the animated Tick with her. Yeah.
Those are both.
I have to say, my daughter loves Lord of the Rings. She loved the Hobbit movies. And I mean, even with as intense as they are, like, she's a fearless little kid. But she loved, we just finished watching the Hobbit trilogy, and she absolutely adored it because she loves dragons.
How old is she?
She'll be 3 in September.
3, you said? 3?
Yeah.
Well, that's so cool.
Yeah, she is big. We are, like, in the midst of the dinosaurs, dragons, superheroes. Like, that is everything she wants right now, which is fantastic.
That's so awesome.
She watched all of Loki with us and WandaVision.
Loki was so good. Such a good show.
My son is going to have to read the Hobbit book before he's allowed to watch the movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because
you don't want him thinking that that's how it ends?
Like, that's not how this works. That wasn't the story at all.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Funny is my husband actually read The Hobbit to her. End of 3rd trimester was when he started it. Oh. So he was reading To My Belly, which was adorable, and then he finished it when she was about 6 months old. It's time for a redo.
Cool.
Her comprehension's probably gotten better at this point.
Also, The Hobbit is a much less boring book to read than the original trilogy. I love them, but it was like, yes, it's nice to read about grass for an entire chapter. Thank you. Okay, yeah.
I love that you have over detailed everything, and that's actually, I mean, that's one of the things that's so fantastic about the whole trilogy of Lord of the Rings is that you have all of that detail to build on.
Right.
It's one of the things we talked about with Jed Brophy, who was the actor he was Nori in The Hobbit. And we talked with him about that, about the fact that, when Tolkien wrote things, when he was, I was trying to say writing and wrote, and it came up with righted. So that's awesome.
Sounding all educated.
Yeah, as educated. So anyway, when Tolkien would write things, he didn't just tell you that the sky was blue. He had to tell you what shade of blue it was, how many clouds there were in the sky, how many, what the shape of those clouds were, everything else. He couldn't just tell you that, it was a beautiful day outside. He had, a chapter of description about what he thought was going on before actually tell you what was going on.
Yeah. So that made for so much information for there to be all of these other things based off of. I mean, D&D is so strongly based off of Lord of the Rings.
Right.
That's where we get the idea that dwarves are Scottish. Like, he wrote an entire language for his books. And
Elvish.
That's so incredible that he would put that much detail and that much into something that became so big for so many of us.
Well, there weren't any TVs or anything, so you had to pass the time. And also, like, wasn't, like, the book mailed back in, like, pieces, and that's how it happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it went through the mail, and it was like, read this part of the book now. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
So we have a large Facebook group, about 132,000 members at the moment.
Oh
And
my.
these guys are meme junkies. And one of the funniest sources of entertainment is the crossover memes. Like the person from this story or universe into this story or universe. So if you were a holiday writer for a movie or show, what character would you take from story A and drop him or her into story B with what results?
Wow. Okay. I feel like I want to put Heath Ledger's Joker in like
SpongeBob?
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like in something like that. Like put him in like My Little Pony. Or something crazy like
Oh my
that.
gosh, that'd be so hardcore.
Yeah.
I think I would watch that. I would
I can
definitely.
totally see Princess Twilight Sparkle like trying to fix him with friendship.
Yeah, and then be like, I got these scars from friendship or
Yeah.
whatever.
Then he goes up to the horse hospital.
I got these scars from friendship. Okay.
It makes more sense than it should.
I know, right? I think it's too real. The scars are on the inside now.
Oh, that's
They
awesome.
hurted me, Bobby. They hurt.
Oh, wow,
They're
he's
okay with
so
their
friendly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Josh, we've had a lot of fun with you so far, but we're not quite done with you yet.
Oh no.
We have reached the point of our show where we like to play a quiz with our guests.
Oh boy. Okay.
Point
So
where our guests want to run.
So, but there's a possibility of winning some loot. So
Okay.
that's good too. So our quiz today is called Name That Movie's Year. Okay?
Okay.
So it's not as hard as it seems. What we're going to do is we're going to give you there's a total of 5 questions. For each question, we're going to name off 3 movies, and then we're going to give you multiple choice of you pick what year it came out. Those movies came out.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
I don't think it should be as hard as what maybe you think it is, okay?
Okay.
Remember, the answer is C.
Now, if you get
No,
3
it's
out of the
not.
5, if you get 3 out of the 5 questions correct, we're going to send you an I Gave to the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans coffee mug.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay? If you get 4 of the questions correct, we're going to send you the mug along with this book called Custodians of the Cosmos, which is written by our page founder and the father of 2 of the gentlemen who are sitting really close to each other in the other screen.
Cool.
Anyway, Drayton wrote this book. It's all about a young man who wanted to join Starfleet, couldn't hack it, washed out, and rejoined as a custodian. And he now boldly cleans up after those who boldly just went.
Oh man. Okay.
All right? So, now, however, if you get less than 3, if you wash out, we have to take a picture of you, make a meme out of you, and put it in our Facebook group. We call it a fun sequence.
Okay.
And it's now definitely going to be you as the Joker with the quote.
Why so friendly?
If I don't do that, will you also make that happen anyway? Like,
Yeah, oh,
if I answer
absolutely.
them all correctly. All right, great. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll take a picture of you and we'll make sure that happens. Okay.
Turn you into a meme anyway.
All right. So one way or another, we're getting a meme out of this. I am already excited. All right.
All right.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Question number 1. Name the movie year. Men in Black, Fifth Element, and Batman and Robin. Is it 1997, 1994, or 1995?
For all 3 of them?
Yes. All 3 were released in the same year.
Was it 1997 or 1995? Is
You have to choose
what you're
one.
asking?
Right. Was it
97, 94, or 95?
So you pick one of those years for all 3 movies.
Oh man. 94.
Nope. 97.
97, yes.
All right. One is wrong.
The second question, Josh. Flash Gordon, Empire Strikes Back, or Superman 2? A, was it 1980? B, 1982? C, 1984? I know you can do this.
82.
Oh, you're so close. It's 1980.
I'm gonna lose. Okay.
You already agreed to be.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
You want to watch Flash Gordon?
Weird Science, A View to Kill, which was a James Bond movie, and Teen Wolf. Did they come out in 1984, 1987, or 1985?
1985.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
We got one. Jim said it wasn't hard.
Question number 4. Total Recall, Edward Scissorhands, Tremors. Was that A, 1989, B, 1990, or C, 1988?
1990.
That is
Very
correct.
good.
Ah.
All right.
That's you. All right, and last question. Inception, Clash of the Titans, Jonah Hex. Was that 2001, 2005, or 2010?
Oh, I think it was 2010.
It was 2010.
Look at that. You get a coffee cup and a
You
meal.
rallied!
Woo!
You rallied!
And
Can I say that the 2010 Clash of the Titans in my book doesn't exist? It's claim A or go home. Like,
hold on.
Is that the one where they where it was Liam Neeson, right? Was
Yeah,
like
it was
okay,
Zeus.
I will give them that Liam Neeson played a great Zeus.
Yeah.
Other than that,
That was about the redeeming factor of it.
All right. So we're going to make sure that
Batman and Robin threw me off. So anyway, cool. I'm happy that I'm not a total moron when it comes to me.
no, you did great, Josh. You did great, man.
Well, honestly, this was our first pass on this style of game, and so you were a guinea pig today. You did pretty well with it, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
So yeah, we'll make sure that we'll get a shipping address from you when we're all done here off camera, and we'll send you your coffee mug. All
I'm
right, bud.
excited for that mug. I'm so excited for that mug. Thank you.
I'll probably still send you the book anyway.
That's probably going to happen too.
We tried to
No
be nice.
guinea pigs and a
consequences.
few carrots.
We
We
happen
just
to know
Hearing
the
you.
we know the author, so we'll put a good word in
he's
for you.
Just hanging around his house.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Josh. Do you prefer Joshua or Josh?
Yeah, you can call me Josh.
Oh, okay.
This is a strange time to now ask that.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
like the entire time. You're like, should I
It's,
call you
it's
Josh
interesting
now?
that you've waited till the end of the show to be like, can we clarify the name, please?
It's like, do you prefer Greg or
Yeah.
what is?
Is it Josh with a silent J? Joshua?
Yeah, wow,
Do you
wow.
prefer Greg or Jeremiah?
There's an accent on the O, so it's actually Josh. Yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
Josh, thank you so much for being on the show today. Where can people go to find out more about your work and what you're doing?
Sure. So I got a website. It's joshuaschubart.com. And on Twitter and Instagram, I am at Josh_Schubart. I do a lot of tweeting about what I'm up to. But also all of my social medias have like a what's that thing? The link tree on it, so you can find all my other one handy dandy place.
All right.
Awesome. We will make sure that those all go in our episode description so that people can find you.
Yay!
They can do research on you like we did.
Thanks for doing all that research. It's very flattering. Yeah.
We call it research because stalking sounds creepy.
That's right.
So
Now
there's
we
a
want-
warrant outside of your door so they can pull you in for all those warrants.
Exactly. All right, guys. We also want to remind you that subscribing is the single most important thing that you can do to ensure that we get more amazing guests like Josh or Joshua Schubart, whichever way you want to address him, and funny moments for you to be able to listen to throughout the show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's going to help us more than we can ever really tell you. And you're going to want to make sure that you check out Josh or Joshua Schubart on Instagram and Twitter as well. Now, as a reminder, if you're not happy with the content of our videos, all you have to do is submit at least in quadruple cut. Let's try that again. And if you're not happy with the content of our videos, all you have to do is submit and at least quadruple it. Good God, I can't say this word.
Just say triplicate.
Quadruplicate.
All right. And if you're not happy with the content of our videos, all you have to do is submit with at least 4 copies to Ramses IV, the head of the Pyramid Gang. Because in his bungling efforts to rule the world one neighborhood at a time, he will no doubt lose at least 1 or 2 of the copies. So before he can take the offending party out, if you know what I mean, he's going to need those extra copies to remind him of the offenses at hand. Plus, he thinks the proper paperwork will help cool the tick.
Thanks, everyone. And as always, get some sleep.
I would love to get some sleep. Can't wait.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Our show is brought to you by our charity sponsor, the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund, which supports the Wish Upon a Team Foundation that helps out sick kids when they need it most.
And just imagine the comfort you'll give Red Shirt Crewman number 4. He'll know that when he puts on the red shirt, chooses to fight along the tick only to humorously have his spine ripped out by terror, he will be able to know that he didn't leave his family destitute and without hope. Because the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund has his back. And one left of his vertebrae.
You guys almost got that.
And speaking of sponsors and show partners, check out this short video from our good friends over at Level Up Lightsabers. Information about Level Up Lightsabers and their online training sessions can be found in the episode description below.
On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySci-Fi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.